Good day, welcome to today's video. I think there's a theme for this one, time. We're all governed by time. Before I get started, brief shout outs to Swift Detecting, thank you for subscribing, and also thank you very much Kajang, or as Kajang knows me better as Big Soup. Anyhow, thank you for your subscriptions and your support. If you like this video, please subscribe and like. This segment, as I said, is going to be a bit more constructive about time. If you look far back, time existed before we did. I mean, as things have been understood from a scientific viewpoint at least, we've been, well, the universe is about 13.7 billion years old. This world's only been here for about 4 billion years, so in that other 8 and a bit billion years, it must have been up to other things. I do apologise, there's a mosquito flying around, which isn't particularly helpful. Anyhow, as I said, that's when time started. It doesn't really affect us in any way, shape or form until we arrived on the planet roughly 400,000 years ago, as we are today. Before then, many other creatures existed on this planet, in the sort of 2 billion years or so that the planet had existed. So after that, I believe the first civilizations, Sumerians, although we don't really know very much about them, we only seem to have some of their statues and their original, if you can call it, writings, which we don't fully understand because it was such a long time ago. I mean, we're talking about pre-Egyptians here. Talking about a period of maybe 6,000 to 7,000 years ago. The mind does boggle when you start thinking about that. I mean, 6 to 7 millennia. It's a long time. This was continued by the Egyptians. The Egyptians, there's more evidence the Egyptians did actually refer to the time, at least day and night. They used sundials, and I believe the Romans, or Greeks at least, adopted these practices because the Egyptians empires have been around or dynasties have been around for a long period of time, at least 5,000 years. Little is known about the demise of the dynasties apart from a civilization called the Sea People, but it's still up to debate where these Sea People came from. But it is accepted that the Sea People had a massive detrimental effect on the Egyptians. We move forward to Rome. Rome adopted, or should I say the Romans adopted, lots of things from Greek mythology. I believe the Greeks came before the Romans, so chronologically they were probably using sundials and some other forms, as at the time you had some very unique individuals in that civilization who made quite a bit of a difference. And then we go forward to the Romans, who used sundials. They would take technology from other civilizations and say it was theirs and potentially improve it. They used sundials, but these were the first civilization to actually use calendars, because calendars pretty much are an important factor of time. They tell you, for example, what year it is, what month, etc, etc, etc. There was the the Julian calendar, which was invented by Julius Caesar. There was problems with this, but it was not a bad attempt to mark the years. However, Pope Gregory the 13th changed it because there was 3 months they couldn't account for, and it was all done via lunar months. So we lost 3 months in total. So the Gregorian calendar, or current calendar in the Western world at least anyway, is used for your 12 zodiacs, which represent 12 months of the year, 365 days, and to account for the leap year, which is every 4 years, it's 366. We move forward a bit because for many centuries this was the way it would be. There would be many individuals that were tinkering with things such as clocks, which didn't come until a bit later on. I do not believe the Romans had such devices. I suspect it'd probably be another 1,000 years, possibly even 1,500 years before people started tinkering with clocks. And clocks then split into a 24-hour day. They then went further than that, where you started getting into, at least in the last 40 to 50 years, things such as nanoseconds, which is like a thousandth of a second, which is incredible. Something that the human eye couldn't detect. You've also had, in the last 50 to 60 years, atomic clocks, which was supposed to be the most accurate clocks in existence. However, as it's been found, not even an atomic clock, as accurate as it is 101% accurate. It's not, but they are a pretty good definition of time. We invented things such as you can phone up and get the talking clock online now. You could probably get a very accurate clock, probably by Timex or Omega or whoever, probably different worldwide. But that's the Western world. In other countries around the world, it's a different year. There's some islands where it's like the year 4000, for example. There are different calendar movements. There was back in 2012, the Mayan calendar, which predicted the end of, well, it was just the end of that calendar. So it wasn't the end of the world, but everybody was running around like headless chickens saying, oh no, it's the end of the world. But fortunately for all of us, it was not. Briefly covering things like eclipses and all that kind of stuff. These clocks and calendars were done to predict eclipses, because eclipses used to be used in religious ceremonies as well as another way of measuring time. You also had equinoxes, which was in this country we have daylight saving time, so twice a year the clock moves forward an hour or back an hour, depending on what part of the year we are in. Just a brief appendix, I suppose, is loosely linked is time travel. Once upon a time this was described as being something that was impossible. At the moment it is impossible because we do not have the energy to actually do such a thing, but theoretically it is possible, and I think it's being described in something which is the theory of everything called string theory, until something better comes along. At least before string theory you had quantum mechanics, and that was something else entirely. I hope that you like the format and staying on topic. These videos are getting better, ad-libbing a bit better. I will do some more research in these videos and potentially make longer form videos. Thank you very much. I'm going to say the boring thing again. If you like it, please like and subscribe. This is 4046 out, and thank you for watching.